All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
This time we're going to be talking about Squid Game Season 2. Squid Game Season 1 was such a global phenomenon, right?
Absolutely.
It sparked all those conversations
It really did.
about class and,
Yeah.
the value of human life,
Yeah.
and really got us thinking about some uncomfortable truths. And so Season 2, I think everyone's really anticipating
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
what that's going to look like. So
Yeah.
are you ready to kind of dig in and explore the clues that we have?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things I think a lot of people are wondering about is, where does Gi-hun go from here?
Right.
Right? He won the game,
Yeah.
but at a tremendous cost.
Huge cost, right?
What do you think Season 2 holds for him?
Well, I think, we really have to look at what does redemption even look like for him? Will he try to use his winnings to expose the game? Maybe he tries to infiltrate the organization? Or will he just get drawn back into that world whether he wants to be or not?
Ooh, I like that. That's a good point. And speaking of,
Yeah.
being drawn back in,
Yeah.
we know that Lee Jung-jae is returning as Gi-hun,
Yes.
and there are some rumors that Gong Yoo might return as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh, that's going to be so interesting. I mean, his character was such a mystery, right? That unsettling blend of like charm and this kind of menace. I think it could really shake things up.
Yeah.
He could become an ally for Gi-hun and help him try to dismantle the games. Or he could represent an even deeper level of control in the organization.
Oh.
Someone pulling the strings from somewhere we haven't even seen yet.
So if he does come back, what do you think his motives are?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how he talked about the importance of choice in the game? Maybe he truly believes that he's offering people a chance, however twisted, to change their lives. Or maybe he's a victim of the game himself, trapped in a role he can't escape.
Oh, that's interesting. So we've got, our protagonist kind of wrestling with this guilt and this potential return of this character who's blurring the lines between right and wrong. It's already shaping up to be kind of a complex season.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, everyone wants to know about the games themselves.
Right. Of course.
Season 1 took these classic childhood games
Uh-huh.
and turned them into something really terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, the brilliance of those games was how they tapped into like our collective memory, the sense of like innocence and childhood, and then just twisted it into something horrifying.
Yeah. So how do you think they're going to approach the games in Season 2? Will they continue with that theme, or will they go in a completely different direction?
We know Hong Dong-hika has said he wants to create games that are even more mind-bending this time around.
Ugh.
And what I think is really chilling is his focus on the psychological impact. Like, what if the games are designed to break the players down emotionally,
Oh.
to exploit their vulnerabilities?
In a way, they were already doing that in Season 1, right?
Yeah, totally.
They preyed on desperation and really pitted people against each other. But you're suggesting they might take it to, like,
Another level.
a whole other level.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, imagine games designed to force players to betray their loved ones,
Oh, my gosh.
to compromise their core values, make them question who they really are.
That would be really disturbing.
It would be tough to watch.
It would. That makes me think about how Gi-hun was already struggling with so much guilt
Right.
and all the choices that he made. What if the new games force him to confront those demons head on?
Ooh, that's a really good point. I think Season 2 could really become this battle, not just for survival, but for Gi-hun's very soul. Can he even hold on to his humanity
Right.
in the face of that kind of pressure?
Yeah. So it seems like the stakes are even higher this time around.
For sure.
But beyond that individual struggle,
For sure.
Squid Game also offered this broader critique of society. It explored themes of, economic inequality, class disparity, the lengths people will go to survive. Do you think Season 2 will continue to explore those ideas?
I think it has to. I mean, those issues are even more relevant today than they were when Season 1 came out. We're seeing the widening wealth gaps, rising social unrest. I think it'd be almost impossible for Hwang Dong-hyuk to ignore those themes.
So how do you think those societal issues might manifest in Season 2? Could we see characters from different social classes?
Absolutely.
Or backgrounds being drawn into the game?
I think we might even see players from even more diverse walks of life. This could highlight the global nature of the game, how it reaches far beyond Korea. Maybe we see characters who represent different aspects of the system, not just the players, but the people who are complicit in creating and maintaining the game itself.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
That'd be interesting.
That would be really interesting
Yeah.
to see those different perspectives kind of play out.
Yeah, like really exploring those systems of power
Right.
that are behind the game.
Yeah.
It's not just individual desperation. It's like about
Right.
the structures that create that desperation.
Exactly. And speaking of those games, I'm still trying to wrap my head around
Right.
what kind of games we might even see. You know, season 1 set such a high bar
It really did.
in terms of just the creativity and the sheer terror.
Right. They were so iconic.
Yeah. Where do you think they go from here? Do they incorporate more technology? Or maybe draw inspiration from like other cultures or historical periods? I've seen some wild theories online.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff too. But I think the key is going to be to maintain that sense of psychological tension and the moral ambiguity. The games need to force the players
Yeah.
and us as viewers to confront these really uncomfortable truths about human nature.
Right. It makes me think about that whole idea of choice. In season 1, they were given the choice to participate,
Yeah.
but it's hardly a free choice, given their circumstances.
Right.
Do you think that theme of choice will be explored more in season 2?
Oh, I definitely think so. The whole idea of free will versus determinism, it was woven throughout the entire first season. Remember what the frontman said about how everyone is equal in the game? He believed that he was leveling the playing field. But obviously that was an illusion.
Yeah, he was justifying
Yeah.
his own actions. I think
Totally.
it's almost like the game itself is a metaphor for society in a way.
Absolutely.
Like we think we have these choices,
Right.
but a lot of times our options are so limited by these factors that are beyond our control.
Yeah, and I think season 2 could really go deeper with that idea by actually exploring the lives of the people running the games.
Oh.
Who are these VIPs?
Right.
What motivates them
Yeah.
to participate in this whole spectacle of death? Are they detached from the human cost? Or are they wrestling with their own moral dilemmas?
That's a good point. I really hope season 2 sheds more light on the organization itself,
Yeah,
because I feel like we barely scratched the surface in season 1.
I agree. And I think unmasking the people in power could be even more unsettling than the games themselves.
Oh, wow.
Like, imagine if we discover that the VIPs are people we recognize. Like politicians or celebrities or business tycoons.
Yeah.
It would make the whole thing feel even more real
Right.
and connected to our own world.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about the games,
Mhm.
the players, this mysterious organization behind it all. But what about the broader cultural impact of Squid Game? I mean, it sparked so many conversations about social inequality, the ethics of entertainment, even the human condition.
Right.
Do you think season 2 can recapture that?
That lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
You know, I think it has the potential to be even more impactful. The world has changed a lot since season 1 came out.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we faced a global pandemic, economic uncertainty, political turmoil. I think Squid Game season 2 could really tap into those anxieties and offer a powerful reflection of where we are right now.
Right.
All of those themes feel even more relevant
Yeah.
now than they did before. And the global audience is already there. I mean, I remember social media just exploded
It did.
with theories.
It was crazy. And debates.
Yeah.
After the first season ended,
Yeah, it became a global phenomenon.
it really did.
And I think a big part of the show's appeal is that it works on so many levels. It's this thrilling survival drama, but it's also a commentary on society and the choices we make. And then there's that deeper philosophical layer, the questions about free will, morality, the nature of humanity.
Right.
It really stays with you.
It does. It really does. So it sounds like we're both really eager to see how season 2 expands on all these themes.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, before we wrap up, what are some of your personal hopes or predictions
Oh, that's a good question.
for the new season?
Well, I'd love to see more of that character development. That made season 1 so compelling. I want to understand the motivations of the people behind the games, not just the players. And of course, I'm curious to see what kind of twisted games Hwang Dong-hyuk has come up with.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
come on.
I'm right there with you. The games are a huge draw. But for me, it's the characters that make Squid Game so captivating. Their struggles feel so human, so relatable, even in this crazy situation.
Yeah, they really do. And I think the new season has the potential to introduce us to even more complex and compelling characters.
Right.
And I'm really excited to see who joins the game
Yeah.
and what choices they're going to be forced to make.
You know, it's interesting how Squid Game manages to be entertaining,
Yeah.
but also thought-provoking at the same time.
Yeah.
It doesn't shy away from those darker aspects of human nature,
Yeah.
but it also leaves room for hope
Absolutely.
and redemption.
Yeah.
We see that in Gi-hun's journey.
For sure.
He made some questionable choices, but ultimately his humanity kind of shines through.
Absolutely. And I wonder if season 2 will introduce characters who challenge that notion of inherent goodness.
Yeah.
What if we encounter players who are truly ruthless, who embrace the brutality of the game without any hesitation?
That would definitely add another layer of complexity to the story.
Right.
It would force us to think about the fact that maybe not everyone is capable of redemption.
Yeah. That's a really disturbing thought. But it's a possibility.
It is. And it would make Gi-hun's struggle even more compelling.
Oh, absolutely.
To see him try and hold on to his own moral compass while being surrounded by people who have just completely abandoned theirs.
Right. He's trying to stay true to himself in this really corrupt environment.
It makes me wonder if season 2 could explore the psychological impact of the games on an even deeper level.
That's a great question. I mean, we saw how the games affected the players in season 1. But what if season 2 shows us the long-term consequences?
Oh, wow.
Could we see like flashbacks to Gi-hun's life after the games?
Right.
Revealing the trauma he's still dealing with?
That would be really heartbreaking.
It would be,
but also insightful.
Yeah.
To see that lasting impact.
Yeah, I think it would really drive home the point that what happens in the game just stay in the game.
Right. And speaking of lasting impact, I'm curious what you think the legacy of Squid Game will be. It's already sparked so many discussions about social issues. But do you think its influence will extend beyond just the screen?
I think it already has. I mean, Squid Game has become a cultural touchstone. It's a way for people to talk about inequality, the pursuit of wealth, the moral compromises we make in a system that feels rigged.
Yeah, it's given us this new vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly.
To discuss these issues.
And I think season 2 has the potential to amplify that even more. It could inspire even more conversations about the role of technology, the power of social media, the growing gap between the haves and the have-nots.
All themes that are so relevant.
Hugely relevant.
In today's world. And, Squid Game has this way of packaging these really complex issues in a way that is both entertaining, but also makes you think. It's a show that stays with you.
It really does.
Long after you've finished watching.
For sure.
So I think as we eagerly await season 2, the most important question we have to ask ourselves is, what will we do with the insights we've gained?
That's a good one.
From watching Squid Game. Will we just be entertained, or will we use this as an opportunity to examine our own world?
Our own choices.
Yeah, and the choices that we make.
Absolutely.
That's a really powerful question
to
leave our listeners with. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Squid Game Season 2, I encourage everyone to keep those questions in mind, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the conversation going. And who knows, maybe the real game is figuring out how to change the system that created Squid Game in the first place.
Ooh.
So thank you so much for joining me.
It was my pleasure.
For another deep dive.
This was fun.
We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Audio Jungle.